Hello students, welcome to this discussion on fuel cells. Now we are looking at alkaline fuel cell. So as discussed, fuel cells have the same components like anode, cathode and electrolyte, but the electrolyte only makes the difference, and that is why you got different classifications of fuel cells. So the different types of fuel cells can be based on the type of hydrogen and type of oxygen being supplied. If it can be pure hydrogen, pure oxygen fuel cell. Then it can be like a hydrogen rich gas and air fuel cell, or ammonia air fuel cell, because air has got 20% oxygen in that. Then you got synthesis gas air fuel cell, and lastly hydrocarbon gas and air fuel cell. So please look at this alkaline fuel cell. Left you have got hydrogen coming in from the top and going from the bottom. It is going as water and heat out. Okay. Then right side you have got oxygen coming in, and this hydrogen electrons which are flowing from this anode to the cathode, they constitute the current. You can see the electron is flowing from anode to cathode, and thus electricity is produced. And between these two, anode and cathode, you have got electrolyte. This is alkaline electrolyte here, and the reactions are very simple. This anode reactions you can see 2H2 plus 4OH, this hydroxy ions, results to 4H2O, that is water, plus 4 electrons. Okay, so electrons are released in anode, from anode, and in the cathode reaction where the oxygen is supplied, oxygen plus this water, whatever is produced in the anode, plus these electrons will give rise to 4 hydroxy OH, so ions. So this way, this is a self-sustaining reaction. So at the anode, when we supply hydrogen, it generates electrons as well as water, and at the cathode the oxygen is supplied continuously, which uses this oxygen reacts with this water and electrons to produce hydroxy ions, and hence continuously the electrons are produced at the anode and electricity is produced by each cell. So the alkaline fuel cell uses alkaline electrolyte such as 40% aqueous potassium hydroxide QH. In alkaline fuel cells, negative ions travel through the electrolyte to the anode, where they combine with hydrogen to generate water and electrons. Alkaline fuel cells were the first of the fuel cell technologies developed, and they were the first type widely used in the US space program to produce electrical energy and water on board spacecrafts. These fuel cells use a solution of potassium hydroxide in water as an electrolyte and can use a variety of non-precious metals as catalyst at the anode and cathode. The high temperature AFCs operate at temperatures between 100 to 250 degrees centigrade, whereas most recent AFCs designed operate at lower temperature of around 23 to 70 degrees centigrade. AFCs are high performance fuel cells due to the rate at which the chemical reactions takes place in the cell. They are also very efficient, reaching efficiency of 60% in space application. IC engine has got only 35 to 40% efficiency, but fuel cell can go up to 60% efficiency. But the problem is the fuel cell, alkaline fuel cells, can be poisoned by CO2. So the CO2 in the air can affect the cell operation, and hence we need to use pure quality of hydrogen and pure quality of oxygen in this fuel cell. The CO2 can combine with KOH, that electrolyte, potassium hydroxide to form potassium carbonate, which will increase the resistance. So that is not required. CO2 is not required here. This purification process is costly. Susceptibility to CO2 poisoning also affects the cell's life of the cell, further adding to the cost. Cost is less of a factor for remote locations such as space or under the sea. When we are working in space or in the sea, the cost is not important. There the quality, reliability is the most important thing, and life. However, to effectively compete in the most conventional commercial markets, these fuel cells will have to become more cost effective. See, as of now, why fuel cells are not, we don't find them in cars is because they are not cost effective. They are very expensive. Uh, Suppose I can give an example. If you are traveling with bus from Karwar to our college, 12 kilometers, say you are paying 25 rupees by diesel bus. If you have to travel by fuel cell bus, then it will not cost 25 rupees. It will cost you 100 rupees, 4 times, 3 to 4 times. So that is why they are not being used for public transport as of now. These alkaline fuel cells have been shown to maintain sufficiently stable operations for about 8,000 operating hours. So definitely they have got long life, thousands of hours, like 8,000 hours. Uh, and the research is going on to make them very economical. And one bottleneck what we have seen because of CO2 which is there in the air. Now air has got almost 400 ppm of CO2. So this will react with the electrolyte, that QH, and form potassium carbonate, and which will increase the resistance and thus reduce the current. Hence they are not very popular, but research is going on this. So this was all about alkaline fuel cells.